Greetings of peace, and thanks for tuning in. May the peace and blessings of God's source be with you. And welcome to the Schumann Resonance Forecast channel, where we forecast future Schumann resonance spikes and amplitudes by raising our frequency. So by raising our frequency, we raise the frequency and amplitudes of others, as well as the planetary frequency, as we see here on the Schumann resonance chart, as well as galactic and universal frequencies and amplitudes. As we are all one, we're all connected, and we are the ones that are raising the Schumann resonance frequencies, as we see here on the charts. And so I've been doing this to reveal the truth that it is we that are raising up the Schumann resonance, and by doing the practices that I teach, by embodying God source codes, we can raise our frequencies and raise the frequency of the planet and each other, and the galactic and universal frequencies and amplitudes. So that's how it's done. And if you want to look at the receipts, I've been forecasting, if you include this week, the last 4 weeks, I've been forecasting Schumann resonance, significant Schumann resonance spikes for the last 4 weeks. And in the last 4 weeks, we've been roughly having from 3 to 6 significant Schumann resonance spikes every week. So I've been completely accurate in my forecasting of Schumann resonance spikes. And I'm just doing this to illustrate this truth that it is we, human beings, that are raising the Schumann resonance frequency and amplitudes. So it is we that are doing it, so we need to thank each other and the unique creator of all that exists for facilitating all this. And to keep on practicing our practices, as I'll get on to later in the video, how to raise a Schumann resonance. As we see here, this week has been very powerful. We've got a power of 90 here on Monday. And then here we had, I think this went up to about power 20. And here we had, which was today, early in my morning, up to 55. So let's take a quick look at the amplitudes levels here. So we had the 90. We had one that hit about 20 here. And this looks like it just a little above 55 in the amplitudes. So this week has been very powerful, and it seems like we're building momentum here. So for the last 4 weeks, I've been doing my practices of embodying God source codes, and it just seems that we're building up momentum. Now, the way that ascension works is sort of like a spiritual dance where we take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So we could get a little bit of a lesser, it could come back at some point that we need it to cool off a little bit so we don't get thrown off balance. But it looks like we're sustaining these energies a little bit more frequently. So by doing our practices, as I explain here, and how to raise a Schumann resonance, looks like that we can build on this momentum and continue on. So the Quran verse for today is chapter 27, verse 40. Indeed, he who thanks, his thanksgiving is for his own good. So as we are all one, we are all connected. Doing good to others is like doing good to yourself, and doing harm to others is like doing harm to yourself. So the way I raise a Schumann resonance, and just, whatever works for you, whatever comes easy, I really try not to push it too hard. I find if I start pushing too hard and trying too hard, it seems counterproductive. So make sure you're very balanced. Do things with ease. Embody and apply what's easy for you. So embodying God's source codes, I do this by reading the Quran, praying 5 times a day, by remembrance of God's source in many different ways, like God's attributes, knowing that God is omnipotent, that God's all-powerful, God is omnipresent, God is all-knowing, all-seeing, all-hearing. We're all one within God. I practice charity, forgiveness, and gratitude. As we see here in gratitude, indeed, he who thanks, his thanksgiving is for his own good. So by giving thanks, it's for your own good. Forgiving yourself and others is like forgiving yourself and others. Giving charity is like giving charity to yourself. As we are all one, this is a free will, cause and effect universe. So, God can make 2 + 2 = 5. As I mentioned before, like I gave a tip of $50 the other day, and then about 2 or 3 weeks later, I got $150 in tips to myself. So that $50 was turned into $150. So I practice some sort of meditation to help balance my ego, to put my ego to the back. Not putting it at the top. So meditation is good for that, and it helps to tap into the oneness as we're all one. So you can read these grand verses if you like. I'll put them in the description box below. And those are just some of the things that I do to help raise my frequency and embodying forgiveness, especially gratitude. I've been really focusing on gratitude. And I think a lot of this that occurred here was me really focusing on gratitude. I was reading a lot of grand verses on gratitude. And being grateful and thankful is for our own goods, as this is a cause and effect universe, and we are all one. So I just want to make a quick update for today, just to show that the energies are very strong, and we'll try to build on this momentum. But at some point, we're going to have to probably take a little bit of a step back. So there's going to be a little bit of step back in the energies at some point, but we'll see how things go. We don't want to push it too hard. We want to flow with this. We want to make it easy. We don't want to push it too hard. Even just reading one Korean verse a day or whatever a week is beneficial. Giving charity, forgiveness, remembering our Creator, remembering that we're all one, doing good to others, thinking more of the spiritual side of things. All these contribute to raising our frequency and making this planet a more beautiful place, more, divine place for us to exist here and learn. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you take God's source as your shield and protector. And may the peace and blessings of God's source be with you. Take care. Peace.